Do you have resting thinking face? Hi, this is Gilda Bonanno, professional speaker and executive presentation skills coach. I'm wondering if you have resting thinking face. Now, you may have heard it called other things, but what it is essentially is when you're thinking, your face looks like you're disengaged or upset or frustrated or angry. This can hurt you in person and especially on virtual calls, on Zoom or on Teams, when everyone can see your facial expressions at all times. I first became aware that I have resting thinking face many years ago when I was with a client, one of my key clients at the time. We were in person and I was sitting at the back of the room and they were up front announcing a new initiative. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, how can I be part of this new initiative? I'm a consultant. This is my key client. They're announcing this project. I want to help and be part of it. So I'm processing all of this in the back of my mind. And from the front of the room, my client says, I can see from the look on Gilda's face that she thinks this is a bad idea. Wow. I immediately stood up and said, no, 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 this is not I hate your idea face. This is thinking face. And from that moment on, I became very aware of the message my face was sending when I was thinking. And since then, I've worked with a lot of clients who have resting thinking face. If you're high thought, if you tend to reflect a lot or ponder things or think carefully while someone else is speaking or before you speak, you can look like I did, disengaged, upset, frustrated, disapproving, when none of that is true. So what do? Well, I used to put a little smiley face on my notes. And sometimes I still do that on Zoom. I put a little sticky next to my camera to remind myself to smile. Now, I'm a very happy person. In fact, it says joy right there in my background. And so it's easy for me to smile. Normally, I'm very happy and engaging and positive, but I know when I think that I suddenly go quiet, my eyes go up, or I look off, or I furrow my brows. And people's brains read that as disengaged. So I remind myself to smile or keep a neutral expression. And you have to practice this because you think your face is sending one message and it may be sending something completely different. So put your camera on your computer or on your cell phone and practice. What does it look like when I'm thinking? What does it look like when I think I'm smiling? Am I really smiling? What do I think my neutral face looks like? Is it really neutral? So if you practice these facial expressions, you're more able to then communicate what it is you're trying to communicate. If you want to look angry and frustrated, that's a choice, not an accident. You want to have your facial expressions be deliberate and communicate the very same message that your words are communicating. So I'm very grateful to that client for calling me out publicly on my resting thinking face. I hope you don't get called out publicly. If you follow the tips that I've recommended here, you can anticipate when your resting thinking face might get in the way and practice more of a neutral or positive face so people don't misunderstand and misinterpret your facial expressions and your overall mood and opinion of what it is they're saying. I'm Gilda Bonanno. Thanks for watching and for subscribing. We'll see you next time.